So there's the Live Beyond You Service Challenge. We're going to talk about what it is. You're going to learn about the 3 steps to participate on that, the process and the timeline of the challenge, the impact that you can make through your participation, and then the awards and the perks and the recognition. We're going to talk about all of that under the section of the Live Beyond You Service Challenge. Okay. And then there's another in section 2, we're going to talk about Beyond Me's core values. Our core values help you see the why, right? Why do we do what we do? How do we know that it's effective in everything? And that's why the whys are so important. The 5, core values that we have, and how we can live out the Live Beyond Your Service Challenge. And then the importance of living them out, and the importance of the core values, understanding what they are, defining them and explaining them. I think it's very important for us to be able to do that. So when you understand who we are, as Beyond Me initiators or Beyond Me ambassadors, as people who want to live beyond themselves, these are the 5 core values that you need in order to really carry out our mission. And so we want to be able to help you understand the why, the why behind why we're doing all this, because sometimes we can get lost into all these activities and things that we need to do, but we forget the why behind them. So we're going to step back and start with the why, and then we'll go on to the what and the how and all the other questions that you may have. All right. And in the next section, I'm going to really define what a Beyond Me initiator does, and then what Beyond Me ambassadors do. And the reason you can't know about a Beyond Me ambassador if you don't know about a Beyond Me initiator is because everybody starts off really as a Beyond Me initiator, and then slide over to the ambassador part. So we have a program specifically designed for ambassadors, and we have a program specifically designed for the Beyond Me initiators. So we're going to talk about what makes a Beyond Me initiator, who they are, the habits, the lifestyle, the mindset that they have. What role do they play in the LBY service challenge, the Live Beyond You service challenge? We call that LBY. What role they play? Okay. We'll also talk about Beyond Me ambassador. What makes an ambassador, right? Who are they? What's their habits, the lifestyle, the mindset? And then I'm going to talk about the 5 steps, that they take to successfully launch a project or a fundraiser as part of the LBY service challenge. So we're going to dive deep into these concepts. So make sure you strap up, you grab some water, strap up, grab some water, some popcorn, and take some notes as we go through this course together. All right, let's get started. All right, so first let's talk about a little bit about a brief history of the Live Beyond You service challenge. So I've mentioned, and you can watch all of our videos, and we've got tons and tons of concept out there. But at the end of the day, Beyond Me started as a campus club at Anderson University in the state of Indiana. And the whole idea behind it is that, hey, we were trying to unite students together, unite students who are passionate about music and social impact, and bring them together. And me being born in Haiti because of an earthquake that struck, and just the amazing opportunity that I got to go back and lead a humanitarian trip in 2011, 2012 area time frame, getting a chance to go back and lead that trip spearheaded the whole idea of bringing artists together and forming a compilation album called Beyond Me Haiti, which was inspired by our campus theme, Beyond Me. And it was inspired by volunteerism, service, generosity, compassion. All of these things were all inspired by the idea of living beyond ourselves and making a tangible difference, using our gifts and creative capacities to make a tangible difference in the world. Okay. So around 2015, right after we were very successful in launching a beneficial album and then raising thousands of dollars, we raised about $30,000 to $40,000 through our endeavors and partnerships with several different organizations, from the Drew Brees Foundation to Lifting Up Haiti to Mud Ministry. We were very successful in uniting multiple different charities and foundations together to help us raise money for this humanitarian endeavor that we were trying to do. And so we wanted to keep things going. So we formed our own 501c3 nonprofit organization called Beyond Me Initiative. And that's where you get the whole Beyond Me initiators. It came because of us wanting, after we had gone through several humanitarian type of trips, the idea was to bring back the mentality of service, volunteer, generosity, compassion, and resilience that we experienced when we were in Haiti. The idea was to bring that back to our local communities and help other people experience the same thing of making a difference like we did and getting a award for it. So that's why we came up with the Live Beyond You Service Challenge. It engages individuals to go out and serve local charities and to form service groups that and work together to serve a charity and then win funds through a charity raffle for that specific nonprofit that they were passionate about. So the idea of the Live Beyond You Service Challenge is that it would support music, a local service, and sharing the experience through videos. And again, people being rewarded with funds. Again, people helping their favorite charity through the creation of a video and entering a raffle, winning funds is just a much easier than long hours of grants and soliciting donations and all sorts of things like that, and going out and solicit donations. It seemed a lot easier and more fun. Targeting music fans is just an easy way because it gives us an audience of people to look up to. A lot of us in some way or another listen to music, so it's just easier to reach people through a song sometimes than it is through just words. The Beyond Me Ambassador program came about when I graduated from Anderson University back in May of 2015. My goal was to be able to expand our campus club program into other schools. And so we began trying to do that. And we had some success in it, but then we also had some logistical things that made it really difficult. So by the time we were in 2020, everything was virtual. So, we couldn't go to the schools like we wanted to and do some of the things like we wanted to. So it became more about like encouraging individuals to take on the initiative on their own and having them, have a bigger platform. To have a bigger platform, we needed to be able to spread the Beyond Me concept anywhere. And so the Beyond Me Ambassador program, instead of trying to do like campus clubs that we had to like manage, we did ambassador program where individuals who wanted to participate in the Live Beyond You Service Challenge could now do so as individuals and as creatives rather than having to gather a group of people and form a service group. They could do it by themselves. They could use their gifts and creative capacities to create some form of a tangible product or put together a fundraiser. But the idea is that they would generate some form of an income through their endeavor, and then they would donate the proceeds to Beyond Me Initiative's Live Beyond You humanitarian funds. And those would be given to charities that are served through the challenge, right? So, and they receive rewards and recognition based on their achievements. And some of the things that have worked really well is putting on beneficial concerts, culinary events, personalizing, fundraising appeals from letters, and just going about whether if you were a speaker, going to different schools and speaking about on the behalf of Beyond Me and the cause and your passion to make a difference. All of those stuff work. Culinary events, anytime that you can cater or you can bake goods and sell those goods, and proceeds from those go to our humanitarian fund. That's another way to do it as well. The idea that we're trying to do here is that we're trying to give individuals an opportunity to leverage their passions for positive change, to leverage their gifts, their creative capacities, and some time that they have, and to be able to use that to raise funds. And then those would be given away as part of a raffle to multiple different charities. All right. Livebeyondyou.org is our website. So after, donations, they are going to be given through livebeyondyou.org to our nonprofit Beyond Me initiative. All right. So the Live Beyond You service challenge, the timeline. So when as far as the timeline, when we're talking about the timeline for the Live Beyond You service challenge, the first thing is the initial kickoff. That's very important. So in the initial kickoff, what we have going on, this is where we're really trying to launch promotional events that lets people know that, hey, the Live Beyond You service challenge is happening. So for us, it's inviting really music people who are passionate about music. We really target them, whether they listen to music or they're in music, by the producers of it, whether they listen to music or they're the producers of music. We want to invite them to be part of this. And so, just like, when I was starting up Beyond Me, I had to go out and recruit artists. That was the initial kickoff. For us, it's recruiting fans, it's producing an album, and then trying to get people to listen to it and to like it and to support it. So that's the next stage, is support the music. So the next phase after the initial kickoff and people are aware that the Live Beyond You service challenge is a thing, the step, to making any progress work is for them um, to support the music. And they can do that by visiting our website, livebeyondyou.org, and they can buy our latest music bundle that way. Okay. And the music bundle comes with, live performances and behind the scene content, all sorts of really unique things that they don't get, generally from just the audio, version of the album. They don't get that. So that's the idea there. So supporting the music is the first step one. And the idea is that their purchase, once a bundle has been purchased, it would trigger a donation from one of our sponsors supporting charities in the challenge. So that's the next step. So we kick off by doing lots of promotion, running ads, whatever we do, doing a huge campaign, to promote the Live Beyond You service challenge that is happening, whether it's visiting different schools, doing concerts, promote. And then for fans that respond to that, the first step that they're going to take is to support the music. The next thing that they're going to do is they're going to form groups of 3 or more people, and they're going to team up with a local charity. And they're going to use charitynavigator.org to select whatever charity that they want, that's in their local area that they want to serve. Again, we encourage local service. So the goal is to pick a charity in your local area that you can go out and serve for a couple of hours with your group of 3 or more people. Then we're going to register. They register their group and the chosen charity at livebeyondyou.org. And that's how they enter the challenge to participate. The third step is for them to share their story. So as they serve, they would create a 2-minute video that highlights their actions, as well as their companions and their community impact. And so they upload that to livebeyondyou.org, and that enters their charity into a raffle for a chance to win funds. And then the last, step of this process is for everybody that participated in the challenge to win some funds. And then so they can, attend a complimentary virtual event called Raffle Day. And that's where we let them know the winners of the challenge, how much money that they will be rewarded. All that kind of stuff happens in Raffle Day. Upon them winning funds, the next step to do is what we call In It to Win It. And it's an accountability aspect where we have a set of criteria for the nonprofits, because we want to have accountability. We don't want to be someone that just funnels funds and then we don't know where the funds are going. And also we owe it to our fans to be able to document the work that we're doing so that they can tangibly see, oh wow, stuff is actually being done. So we wanted to be able to partner with charities that are okay with us documenting their impact upon them receiving the grant funding. I mean, if our volunteers, right, if our fans went out and served a charity and they documented their work, we're asking the charity to do the same thing. Essentially, charities are in it to win it by making sure that they meet all the criterias on our list. That the project that they're doing is some form sustainable, right? It needs to show some level of sustainability in order to make sense to us. Okay, so winning charities receive funds and begin orchestrating and documenting initiatives that drive impact in their local communities, right? And then you have number 5, which is 90 days of impact. So Beyond Me initiative then tracks the fund impact, following up with awarded organization, creating a highlight reel showcasing volunteers, right? Organization and people served in the LBY challenge. We want to be able to document the work that's being done. And then finally, we have step 6 here. We call it Beyond Me Night. Okay, you've seen it, maybe Beyond Me Day, Beyond Me Day, Beyond Me Night. It's a time of celebration. We bring all of our volunteers together. We bring in organization leaders, clients, families, friends, etc. are all invited to a Beyond Me banquet, where we're celebrating the challenge, the impact that we've made. We'll have food, we'll have performances, awards, and presentation. Okay. So that's kind of what Beyond Me Night consists of. It's a fancy, you dress up, look nice, bring everybody together, celebrate, and then the whole cycle that we, over here, the whole cycle repeats again. Then we go back to the initiative of relaunching the Live Beyond You service challenge, and then putting on, LBY1, LBY2, LBY3, and so forth. And the LBY1, LBY2, LBY3 just represents the years. It's kind of like Super Bowl for us. Super Bowl 1, Super Bowl 2, Super Bowl 3, Super Bowl 4, so forth. For us, it's LBY1, LBY2, LBY3, LBY5, and so forth. So we can document really and keep it going for as many years as we possibly can. All right, let's talk a little bit about Beyond Me's core values, and then that's going to really set the stage for what we're doing. All right, so when we talk about Beyond Me's core values, they are, first of all, they are service, love, generosity, compassion, and resilience. Service for us is enhancing someone's life through proactive action. All right. And then what I'm going to do is not only share with you these core values, but I'm going to show you how the Live Beyond You service challenge actually embodies these core values. That's what we did. Because it's one thing to have a core value of something, but then it's another thing to actually be able to have activities and things that people do that actually embody those things. Okay. Love is striving for harmony and self-care and caring for others. I learned throughout the course of my time of working with Beyond Me that it's not good enough to have love for other people, but it's also important to have love for yourself. And it's so important because for the longest time when I was at Anderson University, I felt like I was serving other people. But when I got out of Anderson University and through Beyond Me and all the humanitarian type of endeavors that I was doing, it was serving other people, but there was aspect of me that I wasn't, working on helping myself. Remember, I talked about how we have two hands. We have one hand to feed ourselves, and then we have the other hand to give food to somebody else. And love, that's the concept of love. Love is self towards yourself, feeding yourself, meeting your own needs, right? Self-care, all that kind of stuff. That's love. But then there's also the aspect of giving. You got to be able to do both of them at the same time, in my opinion. And sometimes for some seasons, it's like, okay, I need to take a break and like really care for my mental health and everything because I've been serving a lot, and that's fine. Sometimes you have to adjust. Or maybe you focus too much on yourself and you've become really wealthy and stuff. And then that's when they kind of switch hands and they begin to focusing on that. One way or another, both of them need to happen. So self-care for ourselves and the caring for others. Generosity, obviously, living and giving abundantly. Generosity is not imposed on us. It's a choice. We want to be generous with our resources, with our time, with our talent. We want to be generous because that's how we really make a tangible difference. If it's imposed on us and we have to give, then it's not generosity. You're giving because of compliance. If you're just giving just to receive tax credit or whatever, to lower your taxes, or there's some selfish ambition in our giving, it's not generous, because you give out of abundance, or abundant mindset. You give out of what you want to give. You don't give because for selfish reasons to make you look good and all that kind of stuff. Then it's not generous. So in my opinion, I believe that we have to remember that, to live and give abundantly. And then compassion. Compassion is empathy and caring for others' well-being. And so it's an emotional, you have to get emotionally in tune with how other people are feeling, because when you use terms like "I don't care how you feel," that comes from a sense of lacking compassion on other people, lacking a sense of grace, and saying, "Look, I'm struggling here. I'm coming to you because I'm struggling, and I need some compassion and some understanding." But if you immediately dismiss somebody and say, "I don't care about how people feel and everything," and there's no empathy involved, that immediately tells that there's something wrong here, and we need to do better. And so compassion is, you have to care. There's got to be some form of emotional caring for the well-being of the other person, because otherwise they're gonna feel unloved, and they're gonna feel like there's not gonna be trust and all sorts of stuff. So I believe that it's important for us to really care for the needs of others, and as much as we care for the needs of ourselves. Resilience is conquering life's challenges or hardships. All of us throughout our lives, we're all gonna face with challenges. It's just one way or another. So in humanitarian work, we are gobbled up by challenges that this world has. How do we help those who are hurting and suffering, but do it in a way that it doesn't cause even more of what we're trying to stop? How do we stop corruption without becoming corrupt ourselves? That kind of thing. So resilience is overcoming those challenges and not giving up, continuing to work again and again to get that accomplished. And it requires a lot of time, a lot of sacrifice, and a constant need to remind ourselves, like, this is my mission, this is what I was born to do. I'm not going to stop until I become successful. So that's the kind of thing. So our core values and action. So for us, service is shown through the service activities with local charities, orchestrating projects and fundraisers. Love is shown through uniting volunteers, displaying passion for the welfare of humanity. Those are some ways that we show our love. We're constantly unifying. I think unity is love. In our world, there's so much distractions, and there's so many people who are against each other, and there's so much, what we call it hip-hop beef that's going on. Love is uniting that and overlooking some of our differences so that we can find common things together and coming together and accomplishing something good. To me, that's a form of love. It requires a sense of, like, it's not about me, it's about us, that type of thing. Generosity, this is shown by sharing our gifts, our creative capacities, our time, our talent, and our money. At the end of the day, the Live Beyond You Service Challenge, it's not just buying our music or stream. It's not just buying our music. It's not just buying our merch. It's not just joining our, subscription service. And it's not just buying our ebooks and everything. There's a sense of that donating your time and talent Becoming a Beyond Me ambassador requires that we donate our time, our treasures, and our talent, so that we can make this world a better place through what we do. And so it requires us not always seeking to get something in return. If we have that type of mindset, we're not really being generous, because we're just doing it out of selfish ambition. So yes, it's good to get something in return for your efforts. Obviously, ROI is very important, but at the same time, we have to remember that if we are always trying to get something in return, like I will only do good so I can get something else in return, that's when we need to question ourselves and saying, well, why, why do it in the first place if it's only benefiting us? So, um, I just want to challenge people that are only thinking about themselves and what's in it for me and that kind of thing. You're not living generously, with that type of mindset. Number 4 is compassion. This is shown by our desire to help those who are less fortunate. They're hurting, they're suffering, and we want to alleviate their pain and suffering. Again, compassion is the emotional aspect of things. It's empathy, and like I said, it's when you don't care about how somebody else feels. It's very difficult to have compassion on them, and so that's why it's important to do that. Resilience. So this is shown by us not quitting on our cause, completing our goals, objectives, not quitting on our goals, going out and completing our objectives, our mission, despite facing numerous challenges along the way. Resilience was like the 5th core thing that got added to our core values, simply because over the years of doing Beyond Me, there's been so many challenges, and there's so many challenges, more challenges that we have to face. As an artist, I've got so many challenges that it's like all this mountain that I'm having to climb, and it's very, very difficult. Right now, as I'm saying all this, I'm going through a lot of challenges, and so resilience is something that reminds me that you can't quit. You have to keep going, and the only way, like when you feel like quitting, like hone down on something that you truly believe. Hone down on what you have to do to be successful. You have to hold on to something. You have to dig deep, and so resilience reminds us to do that. So the 2 paths that really defining it is that, what is a Beyond Me initiator? Beyond Me initiators are Beyond Me initiators consist of our music listeners, potential fans, philanthropists, humanitarians who support the organization through purchasing our products, our experiences, and services, or perhaps by donating directly to Beyond Me initiative without engaging in fundraising activities. So Beyond Me initiators and Beyond Me ambassadors do engage in soliciting funds. Okay. They also engage in coming up with fundraisers and creating a product or something that they can sell, and then using those proceeds that they get from selling something to help with our humanitarian fund. So ambassadors do that, but Beyond Me initiators don't. They are more of you could call like sort of consumer. They are more of people that want to just buy a product, and through their purchasing of that product, they're supporting you. So they're more of, they just don't have the time to go out and fundraise and do things. So it's twofold. You have the Beyond Me initiators and the Beyond Me ambassadors, and we need both of them. So, and the analogy is like, in our early days, we needed the artists to create the music, but the artists don't want to be the actual fundraisers that are going to actually go out and have to connect with corporations and get sponsorships and stuff. They don't have that time to do it, because they need to be in the studio working on their songs and working on performing, and they need to be essentially in the studio working on their songs and working on their performance and everything. They're not going to have the time to go out and get sponsorships and all the administrative work. They just they don't have that time. So we had to kind of split into this Beyond Me initiators and Beyond Me ambassadors just to help the Live Beyond You service challenge become more successful. So now that you know what a Beyond Me initiator is, a Beyond Me ambassador, on the other hand, uses the Live Beyond You service challenge as an opportunity to creatively fundraise for charity. They promote Beyond Me's humanitarian values and mission while also receiving rewards for their efforts. So Beyond Me ambassadors, because they're doing a lot of fundraising and they're creating some form of a tangible product or service and they're selling that, they're rewarded differently than the Beyond Me initiators. The Beyond Me initiators are supporting the cause through their buying of our music and our albums, things like that, and our merch and everything. They're supporting the cause, and then they're engaging in fundraising. They're not engaging, they're supporting the cause through their purchases, and then they're partnering with a local charity to spend a couple of hours just serving something that's already happening in their local community. They're not coming up with anything new, nothing like that. They're serving for a couple of hours, and then on the behalf, they're entering a video explaining what they did, and then they are winning funds based on their service for with a charity of their choice. So Beyond Me initiators are doing that. Beyond Me ambassadors don't partner up with other charities and do that kind of thing. They typically run their own fundraiser or creative activity and or product that they want to produce. They do that, and that itself is their fundraiser. So they don't need to partner with another charity, and unless they want to, they can. But I'm just saying that generally Beyond Me ambassadors are the fundraisers for the Live Beyond You service challenge. They're the ones that are going to help create the funds that Beyond Me initiators are going to win on the behalf of a charity. And so Beyond Me ambassadors donate proceeds to help with the fund that we give to charities. So that's kind of how that works. So if you looked at it like you have the inside circle and the outer circle, it would be Beyond Me initiators are kind of initiated into the Live Beyond You service challenge through their purchases and direct donations. They just directly want to purchase something or they want to make a donation. That's a Beyond Me initiator that automatically inserts them into the Live Beyond You service challenge or humanitarian funds that can help charities, right? They don't put on fundraisers or solicit, donations. They don't do that. Ambassadors are in the inner circle. Ambassadors represent Beyond Me's humanitarian values, but they're responsible also for helping us raise funds for our humanitarian funds, right? The Live Beyond You humanitarian funds. Beyond Me ambassadors are responsible for helping us raise funds for that. And then those funds are pulled together and given to charities as well. So they both have kind of the same end goal of raising funds for charities, but one of them is more the fundraiser role. The other one is more, I'm going to just purchase or make a direct donation to Beyond Me to help that happen. All right, so some of the similarities that Beyond Me initiators and Beyond Me ambassadors are, number one, they both follow the Beyond Me core values, right? Of generosity, love, service, compassion, and resilience, right? They all follow that. So they all follow the Beyond Me's core values: love, resilience, service, compassion, generosity. They all follow those 5 core principles. Okay. Another thing is they both raise funds for the charity raffle. Okay. Both raise funds for Beyond Me's mission and brand. Again, that's all wrapped with our charity raffle, the Live Beyond You service challenge. And another thing that inspires them is that they both are eager to support the causes, our music. Both enjoy the positivity that Beyond Me brings at the table. So those are a little bit of the similarities. Beyond Me ambassadors have a more creative mindset. It doesn't mean that a Beyond Me initiator isn't creative. It's just that what we mean by creative mindset is that they tend to want to create something tangible and use that as a fundraiser. So they're going to create an album. They're going to create a culinary experience, through baking goods, Haitian cuisine, whatever. They're going to create something tangible, and then they're going to sell that, and then they're going to use the proceeds and donate it into Beyond Me initiative, and that goes into our humanitarian fund, okay, that is then given and distributed to charities all around, the United States and so forth. So that's what we mean by the creative mindset. Ambassadors, whereas initiators are more service oriented. Okay, so their idea is they want to join a cause or be part of something that's already happening. They don't want to have to go in and create something brand new. They want to be part of, they just want to be plugged in. Plug us in with a charity that's already has a cause, and we'll come and serve. We'll spend a few hours and we'll already serve with you because you're already part of the cause. So they have that type of thing. A Beyond Me ambassador is a fundraiser. They sell products and services or some form of experience, and then again, they donate those proceeds to the Beyond Me initiative organization. On the other hand, an initiator is more of a consumer. They're going to buy their music bundles, and we need both of these, right? They're going to buy the music bundles, they're going to buy merch, they're going to buy ebooks, they're going to buy our subscription service to support the cause. They're more of a consumer. And if they don't want to consume any of those things, they make a direct donation to Beyond Me initiative. Okay, so Beyond Me initiator is going to make a direct donation, or they're going to purchase a product. Okay, whereas a Beyond Me ambassador is going to fundraise. They're going to figure out some form of a product or service that they can sell, an experience that they can create, or a fundraiser or a project, and they're going to use that to help fundraise for our charity raffle. An ambassador is going to support Beyond Me's cause by donating proceeds from their specific project or fundraiser to the raffle, that we have. Whereas an initiator directly serves a local charity and then creates a video on their behalf, explaining what they did, the type of impact that they did through their service, a couple of hours of serving with the charity. And then that enters the charity's name into a raffle to win funds. Okay. And they're winning some of the same funds that Beyond Me ambassadors were able to earn through their fundraiser or project that they completed. And then they donated the funds to be part of the charity raffle. That's that. Another aspect is that Beyond Me ambassadors are rewarded based on the amount of funds raised through their fundraisers and projects, whereas Beyond Me initiators are rewarded for their participation, and their charity is awarded with grant funding. Okay, so a lot of the any monetary type of things that they get, Beyond Me initiators get, are all based on their charity getting it, not them. Beyond Me ambassadors are rewarded not monetary by Beyond Me organization, but we have several different rewards for them that we give to them because of their efforts in helping us raise funds and projects. So we have some really cool experiences, a way of saying thank you to them, and it's uniquely to them because they're putting in a lot more time and effort to create something out of scratch than it is to just join a cause and then create a video, and boom, you're entered into your charity's entered into the raffle to win. So they're rewarded in different ways. So right here you can see for the Live Beyond You service challenge, the 2 paths. Right here for Beyond Me ambassadors, there are 5 steps that need to be accomplished right here. And then for the Beyond Me initiators, there's only 3 steps that they really have to take. Okay, so for the Beyond Me ambassadors, the 5 steps include: 1, that they define their project, okay, that they want to do. All right, define your project. 2, they need to spread awareness and network. And then 3, they fundraise through events. 4th, they donate the proceeds. And 5, they share the impact. Okay, that's Beyond Me ambassadors. This route is just for creatives and fundraisers. If you're more of a servant leader, you're more service oriented, you just want to join a cause already, you're going to support our music first, you're going to serve locally, and then you're going to share your story. Those are the 3 easy steps that we've laid out for our Beyond Me initiators to take. Very simple, easy, your level of engagement, can be very minimum. You can just support the music, and some people will just stop there. They're not going to go do steps 2 and 3. They're going to be initiated into part of the Live Beyond You service challenge simply because when they purchase to support the music, to buy a bundle, again, a corporation is going to match the sale with a donation to Beyond Me initiative. So that's the cool part, is that we need people to purchase our music so that we can continue to make a tangible impact through that. All right. So regardless of what paths that you take, it's still the same goal. We're still raising funds for our charity raffle. And so we're asking charities that have been served, we're asking them, when we draw the names of some of these charities that have been served, we're going to be able to give them a certain amount of funds depending on how much funds that we collected altogether. So Beyond Me initiators, some of the awards and recognition is that we definitely want to celebrate the enthusiasm, the hard work for, their service in the LBY challenge. And so one way that we really do that is through, number one, through story spotlights, spotlighting and featuring some of the amazing stories of people who have served with a specific charity. We want to spotlight them on our YouTube channels, our social medias, our email newsletters, our weekly tune-ups, and inviting some of them to be part of our podcast as a special guest, for In Tune with Watson Tunes. We want to spotlight those stories because it's very important that we are inspiring each other to make a tangible difference. And then another thing is we have group outings, with your service groups. We'll do like a hangout option. So whether it's a movie, a concert, a bowling, ice skating, rollerblading, going to the zoo, etc., etc., virtual or in-person, meetup with our service group. But it's important that we celebrate these service groups and their contributions, and we make everybody feel like we're a family, right? That this is what it's all about. Serving together is an activity that's done together. It's not just one person doing it all. The amount that we can do just as one person is very limited versus let's unite together and make a tangible difference, right? Basically, when we do our group outings, we reach out to certain service groups. We ask them, hey, what do you guys want to do? What do you want to do? And then we try to make it happen. All right. Free swag, from they're going to get a free shirt and then 2 free wristbands, free song, LBY toolkit. They get the LBY kickoff, and then they get the Beyond Me Ambassador handbook. So these are all free swag. Some of them are digital, some of them are physical products that they're going to get as a way to say thank you for participating in the Live Beyond You Service Challenge. And then the last thing here is Beyond Me Night. This is a dinner and awards, a performance and presentation that all of them are invited to. And then so for the event, it's a fun-filled night with dinner, formal attire, having guests, our volunteers and everything. It's a formal night. We come together and we just celebrate all the impact that we've made together and the stories, and it's amazing. Beyond Me Night is where it's at. It's another way that we give back to our Beyond Me initiators who have volunteered their time and their talent and decided to serve and be part of the Live Beyond You Service Challenge with us. So I want to talk about 5 steps to successfully launch. The number 1 is to define your project. Okay. Number 2 is to spread awareness and network. Number 3 is to fundraise through events. Number 4 is to donate proceeds. And number 5 is to share your impact. All right. These are 5 steps that I took to be able to be successful. And I want to share with you guys how you can use these 5 steps. So and the first step is we're going to define your project. Okay. So I'm going to just use my personal experience to kind of give some examples. So using my example, all right, I'm going to use my second example with the Beyond Me Haiti compilation album. So defining my project was, hey, my project is we are doing a beneficial compilation album that is going to be used as a way to raise funds for earthquake relief work in Haiti. So in this step, you define your project, you identify your passion, you create a project or a fundraiser that raises awareness and funds for the Live Beyond You Service Challenge. In order to do this, consider your necessary resources, costs, and potential volunteers needed to ensure success. Our project planner will, help you in this step. So we develop a project planner to help with this step because there's a lot of thinking and brainstorming that is needed. And so we hope that our project planner will help you be able to define your project and have kind of a roadmap for it. So in my case, my project was to bring a group of artists together and produce a beneficial compilation album that would be used to raise funds for relief work in Haiti, specifically for earthquake and cholera victims that were part of the whole process. And so I wanted to be able to raise awareness and funds for them through this compilation album. All right. Number 2, spread awareness and network. So in this step, you utilizes Beyond Me support materials and join the Beyond Me Ambassador Facebook group for guidance. Determine your target audience, your message, your promotional strategies, including online resources and potential partners. So for me, I began to raise awareness. Number 1, I networked so I could bring a group of my friends together. I began spreading awareness by visiting multiple different schools, multiple different churches, multiple different places and sponsorships and local and big businesses to raise awareness about this project and seeing if I could get anybody that would be behind it to support it. So those are the kind of things you have to do. All right. Step 3, we're going to fundraise through an event. So how can we put either an in-person or a virtual event together that's going to help engage supporters and raise funds? So examples could include, can we set up booths at a local market? Could we partner with businesses or organizations to put on an event at their place? For example, for us, we put on a 3-on-3 basketball tournament, for Haiti that raised funds for Haiti. And we partnered with Hamilton Southeastern High School, and they helped us organize it in one of their gyms. So that's an example of where we're using an event to fundraise. And the importance of using an event is that it gives people a tangible experience that they have to come to in order to support the cause and, raise more awareness about what's going on. Number 4, step 4 is to donate proceeds. This is probably the easiest steps out of it. Once you get an opportunity to visit livebeyondyou.org, you can donate your funds there to the initiative and you contribute to the Live Beyond You Service Challenge, in particular our humanitarian fund, and you just specify that that's where you want your donations and what you've raised to go to, and that's where it's going to go. Step 5 is to share your impact. This is where you're going to create a concise 2-minute video. That's where you're documenting the impact of your service experience. You inspire others and expand the reach of the Live Beyond You movement that way. And then submit your video on livebeyondyou.org. Okay, so those are the 5 steps to success. Now, how Beyond Me ambassadors, will receive recognition. I just wanted to briefly talk about this, but Beyond Me ambassadors receive recognition in a completely different way than a Beyond Me initiator does. But a Beyond Me ambassador receives recognition for their fundraising efforts and the perks and everything that we give them. The following are just some examples. These may change over time, and we can add some things that are even more special along time. But Beyond Me ambassadors are individuals who use their gifts and creative capacities to raise funds for the Live Beyond You Service Challenge. Okay, so at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to raise funds for this LBY Service Challenge. And so in the first level, right here, what we have is for the first level, it tells you how much funds that you raised in order to reach that type of status. So for example, for gold sponsorship, you need to have between $6,000 to $8,999, okay, and so forth. So for bronze, for example, you only need $500 up to $2,999, okay, and you get the bronze sponsorship, okay, recognition and everything. And these are some of the awards that you'll get for your perks and awards for that. So for example, for bronze a sponsorship, you'll get, the music bundle, and all of these are special editions. So what we mean by the special editions, it just means that it's, there's the general edition, which is available to people that purchase the product, but then the special edition, you can only get it by being an ambassador. Like, you can't, this isn't going to be available. You can't just go somewhere and buy this one. The special edition is only available to people who are choosing to become a Beyond Me ambassador. That's why we're calling it that. Okay, so the merch pack special edition, it's not going to be available. We're not going to promote it. We're not, none of that. We're just simply going to give it to only people who are actually, legitimately done the challenge and everything and succeeded. They're going to be getting those rewards. And then then you get social media shout outs and so forth. Now, I just want to note that, when you move each level, you get the previous tier, all of the benefits from the previous tier. Okay, so for the silver sponsorship, you get the handwritten thank you letter from myself. You get the special edition of the, harmonizing hope for harmonizing hope for humanity. You'll get the digital and the hard copy books of that as well, just for reaching that type of sponsorship level. All right. And then plus all the previous stuff that I had mentioned in the bronze sponsorship. Okay. And then it's, vice versa, where as you go to the gold and the platinum. Okay. These are the different award system and how we give recognition to everybody. All right. So let's take a look at some of the prizes and everything. So you have you get the lyric booklet. It's going to consist of our our lyric booklet. There's the digital copy of the album. This is the documentary, and then this is the Long Way to Go. This is the visual album. Okay, these are all of the songs that are in the album, but I go out and I perform them in person and create, content around it and everything. And then finally, this is Live Beyond You. This is a documentary that we put together that really goes more in depth into the Live Beyond You Service Challenge. So you'll get access to everything on that. Okay, and these are exclusive. So LBY merch pack. So the LBY merch pack, this is what it looks like and everything. You're helping people gear up to change, and it says Live Beyond You. And all of that is awarded. So you get all of this stuff. Okay. And so right here, you can see this is what it looks like when somebody's wearing it versus this is what it looks like, just as it is. So Harmonizing Hope, the ebook series, we do have the ebook series obviously available. It can be as a digital download, but we also have the hard copies available as well. And those are print on demand. So what I mean by that is that, as soon as an order is made, that's when we make it. We don't make it, I don't have a stack of these books lying around somewhere. And I share that with you is because, one, we keep them exclusively and we make it only when you order it. Okay, it's made to order. So this, if you want to know all the details and stories and everything, I put all of it into these books. So for the first book, just to kind of give you a little bit of what it's all about. In the first book, I'm really talking about my return trip to Haiti. And then one of the things that I didn't really do is I didn't talk a lot about my music in these, because I spend so much time talking about my music and giving you guys behind the scenes and all that kind of stuff. I spend more time just connecting with my story and sharing happened, what happened to me and the lessons that I learned and so forth. So that's one thing. So the ebook, then the next one. So this is volume one. So that's what happened. For the volume one is all about Operation Haiti. It's really the main thing that set the stage. Number two was when I talk more about the music, but not necessarily my music. What I did was I did some research based on some of the artists that I felt like were humanitarian hip hop recording artists, because their music promotes so much good for humanity and doesn't promote a lot of negativity on it. So I felt like that's something that we can cling on to and we can hold on to. So, and that whole idea I'm trying to convince you is that hip hop is not a bad thing. Rap isn't bad. It can be used to spark positive social change. Okay, which is, people, you know, I think people in general can think of hip hop with all of the negativity that it has, vulgar speech and all this stuff. But I don't want them to forget that there are people in this world who want to do good. And so and this one, harmonizing hope for healing, um, is more about the idea behind this one is, for me, I'm really talking about the process of starting up Beyond Me initiative and how the Live Beyond You service challenge really came about. And again, I have to be honest, I wrote these books, most of them, in the good course of 2023, when I was like, okay, let me share my story with everybody and where I'm at and everything. And so I just wanted to kind of be able to share my story and what inspired this whole Live Beyond You service challenge. And a lot of this I wasn't able to put into a film. So I just decided to write a book about it. All right. LBY community is something new that we added. It's empowering virtual experiences for real world impact. That's what we really, that's our promise. So for the LBY community, the LBY stands for Live Beyond You. And then our community, this is going to consist of both our Beyond Me initiators and our Beyond Me ambassadors that are working together to empower people to create, real world impact in their communities. And so the idea there is that what we've done is we've brought all of our music, every, music every song that I've created is part of the library. So ultimately, I think it's got over 200 plus songs in there for my library. And a lot of these songs are not available in any streaming platform, nothing. You can only get them at the LBY community. Okay. So they're very, very exclusive. So then you have the podcast, In Tune with Watson Tunes podcast. But what I'm going to do is that one, the In Tunes with Watson Tunes, as I'm thinking about it, that podcast will remain a kind of a free podcast. Although what I will do is I'll do some extra bonuses and things like that for them, for people to be able to have. So my goal with the Live Beyond You community, my goal is to be able to create a podcast for you guys, specifically for you guys. Like In Tunes with Watson Tunes is already my podcast I do, for all my Beyond Me initiators and for everybody who's a fan of my music, just want to keep following my journey and everything. I create that podcast and be able to share my thoughts with you, what's going on. I create that, but I want to also create a podcast that's exclusively for our community, and just to be able to invite some of you guys in there to have those types of conversations and to turn some of our, streaming and that kind of stuff into that. So we're going to have a Google Hangouts. So if you guys have never done like a Google Meet and everything, we're going to have that. And then we're also going to have concerts and everything, a virtual concert. So that's what this one represents over here. All right. And of course, you guys got a library for all the merch and everything that's available. All of it will be available in our exclusive merch at a discount. So in a nutshell, our LBY community is an online platform that inspires humanitarian efforts through the power of music, media, and immersive virtual experiences. That's basically it. So you can think of like Spotify, Disney Plus, kind of combined together, a place where you can get music and you can get media and you can get merch. So it's all combined. So you can think of it's Shopify. It's so what we're trying to do is because right now the way that the system is set up is that you got to have you're like duct taping all of this stuff. So if I need to listen to my music, I'm going to go to Spotify. If I want to watch, videos, movies and stuff, I'm going to go to Netflix. If I want to go shopping, I'm going to go to, some form of a Shopify store to do that, some form of an online store. So what we're trying to do is just combine everything together. You got the music here, you got the merch here, you got the media here, and then we're going to create an online community where we can engage in virtual concerts, and then we're going to do Google Meets together. So I'm starting all that up for fans. It's called LBY Community. It's a monthly subscription, and what I'm going to try to do is just make it as low as possible for people to join, and then as people start finding more and more value with it, then we'll continue to increase the value of it as we go. But for now, it's trying to just get people in and creating value for our LBY community. So live beyond you, and everything. So these are the different things that I just talked about that are available, but it's music, it's media, it's virtual experiences. And here's the impact of it all. So you directly support our independent artists from our label. 10% of your proceeds will automatically be donated to Beyond Me Initiative to support charitable causes, part of a humanitarian funds. So this one will be all part of that. You can engage with our supportive community dedicated to the Live Beyond You Challenge lifestyle. So I want to wrap this up by giving some tools and resources to get you started in the next steps, okay? The first thing is the Ambassador Handbook, all right? So you can download that for absolutely for free if you haven't even looked at it. Most of you have already looked at it, and that gives a lot of really, really good, there's 100 creative fundraising ideas to get your creative juices flowing. You can read more about the service challenge. You can learn more about the Beyond Me initiators. All of the stuff that I've basically went through is all in that ebook. So you want to make sure you go through and get that handbook, okay? The next tool that the resources that you're going to need to get started is the Ambassador Facebook. We have a private Facebook group for Beyond Me ambassadors. You can connect with everybody who actually originally helped me get started with our Operation Haiti team. Those guys are part of that Facebook group. So you can talk with them, you can connect with them, all of that. But it's exclusively going to be a Facebook group really dedicated to fundraising for Beyond Me. That's really the whole purpose of that Facebook group. So, so we want to see you there. All right. So tools and resources, we have the project planner and promo materials. So we have, it's going to include letter samples for you, templates to help you stay organized. You can plan your fundraiser properly, your social media planner, content creation ideas, fundraising ideas, and step-by-step guidance to successfully launching any project of your choice to help with the Live Beyond You Service Challenge, to help us gather funds so that we can give away to charities all around the United States. That's the whole goal. We're starting, Beyond Me is really unique because we're starting a charitable initiative that can impact every state, that can impact people all over the United States. And not a whole lot of music movements can say that, like they're creating something tangible that can impact every state in the United States. So that's really cool. So make sure that you go through and you can download all of this. There's links and everything on our website at livebeyondyou.org. That's where all of these things are available for you there. That's really where you need to go. So your next step is to get the handbook, the Ambassador Program Handbook, and that will give you an overview of the program. Visit livebeyondyou.org, sign up for the program. Make sure you watch our Beyond Me Ambassador YouTube video series. You'll want to join our Ambassador private Facebook group, so you can do that. And then you can also download our project planner and get started there. All you have to do, you can visit our website, or you can feel free to just send us an email at TUnez with a Z, at beyondmehaiti.com. And you'll get more support that way. And so if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, or need any form of assistance, my team and I are here. We're at your disposal. We want to help, right? Our success is your success. Your success is our success. We're in this together. And our whole goal, guys, why we're doing this is we are trying to raise funds to help charities all over the United States, helping people who are hurting, who are suffering, who are in need of some love, some nurture. Ultimately, we're giving back to people in our local communities. And that's what the Beyond Me initiative is all about. Let's use our gifts. Let's use our creative capacities to make a tangible difference. So please, please don't hesitate. Reach out. Go to livebeyondyou.org. Become a Beyond Me ambassador and join our mission for positive social change. Thank you.